Dear students, welcome back. Jai Hind, very good morning. As you all know, we are continuing chapter number 16, Management of Natural Resource. We have, dear student, in lecture number 1 discussed in detail about forest and wildlife which needs to be maintained. We also discussed about stakeholder of the forest who should get themselves engaged in the business of maintaining the natural resource. Today we are going to discuss in detail about two other natural resource which is also one of the greatest gift of nature to mankind, coal and petroleum, no doubt other minerals also, at the same time water. So many news. Today's topic, dear student, which we are targeting is maintenance of this resource, water for all. At the same time, coal and petroleum. This topic, though, I can deliver you even in self study because regarding coal and petroleum, you heard a lot. Understand? You may just read it out this topic. We first want to concentrate on this particular topic, water for all. One thing is very clear. This is a universal topic, does not confine just to India. It is actually the water scarcity has been listed out as a global problem, as you all know. And those people, if you are also watching some of the channels like Discovery Channel or National Geographic, means such a channel who are engaged in presenting the uh, wildlife cultures, understand forest, natural resource in front of you. Again and again, some alarming situation are recasted again and again that the world in future is going to face very acute shortage of the water, potable water, I must say. So, dear student, when you are talking of water for all, one of the inevitable resource on this earth for our survival. If you just think our land, our country, India, and other countries, there is minor variation regarding the water resource. In our country, if you travel throughout India, you will find that you will observe lots of anomalies in rainfall throughout the India. if you travel to some region, there is tremendous rainfall in any monsoon season. Understand, take an example, northern states of India, Himachal, Jammu Kashmir, all where you will find tremendous rainfall. Understand, sometime even occasionally not in rainy season also. Similarly, just you are hearing, if you are a regular viewer of the news, reading or on television, you will come to know as far as I am regular just watching the news, no monsoon season I heard that there was no flooding situation in northeastern state. Every year you will hear somewhere in news that some many villages has been washed by tremendous flood in Assam, Tripura, that northeastern states. So when you are just comparing the rainfall, so in some area like northern states and Assam, means in northeastern state, they experience such a heavy rainfall that no year you heard that some river have never flooded and caused devastating damage to material and mankind. At the same time, in south the rainfall is good, but sometimes, as you know, the Kerala devastation. Understand? But it occasionally occur. But in Rajasthan and Gujarat, we are receiving less rainfall. Just if you want to compare numerically, uh, this northeastern state are receiving almost the rainfall of around 200 centimeter a year, and we are in Rajasthan and Gujarat receiving rainfall to optimum level of just 25 centimeter. Sometime you heard in the news that this time no doubt we had good monsoon season. Last year also we received a good monsoon season. Sometime you are hearing in the newspaper that 100% of the seasonal rain has fallen, sometime 80%. Understand? Last 2 years were good for us. Understand? Then also, this happened in the rain cycle of only last 2 years. Otherwise, we are always facing the scarcity of groundwater and potable water. Okay? Why this happened, dear student? Sometime you are reading the newspaper and hearing that excessive rainfall has occurred in some state, but because of less storage facility, much amount of the rainwater has gone wasted. You must be hearing in the news. And every now and then, the government are advised by the Supreme Court to develop more storage facility so that the excess water can be stored properly for the next use. Understand? So, dear student, water management is very, very important for all of us. Not only the problem of water scarcity is going to affect farmer, it is going to affect us also. Understand, even the industries which are run by many of us also demands a continuous water supply, like the farmer demand for agriculture. So, dear student, water resource is invaluable gift of the nature and needs to be maintained. Initially, before the Britishers came, understand, most of the regions of the India, understand, actually there was no such vast development before the Britishers came. Means the modern cultural world hasn't been developed at that time. So there were local mechanism for storing the water, which you may call watershed management, or you can take say water harvesting. There are, my dear student, at that time many local management system for the storage of water. Even I have seen one thing. Even today, government are also instructing the contractor, building contractor, to develop water harvesting management system in their apartment or the flats. So actually what they are developing in today, I have seen many builder are creating the garden area in the surrounding and the water from the terrace pipeline are constructed and modulated in such a way that water from the terrace directly drain out in garden, understand, and the water which is going to collect in the garden, that is not totally to be utilized by the plant, but that water will percolate in the soil in the beneath layer and going to recharge the groundwater. And once the groundwater in good rainy season get recharged, it ensures constant groundwater supply to the flat holders. So government are now advising, and the builders are also taking a serious note of this, to develop such water harvesting system. Understand? So such water harvesting system, so many names has been mentioned in your textbook. Different states have it different name, but those age old techniques were adopted by the local people for managing the water resource. They were adopting so many techniques. Today also, dear student, if you know, in last 15 or 20 year, we have ourselves engaged in developing those local system which people used to adopt. Understand, that particular water harvesting system government are now adopting. Initially what happened when the Britishers came, as I told you in many of my lecture, that there are people who believe in exploiting the natural resource, and Britishers started constructing huge dams. These huge dams were constructed, no doubt. They are also for the benefits of mankind also. But the construction of huge dam, rather than adopting those age-old techniques of storing water, are quite drastically different from each other. Those systems which were adopted by the local people, understand, for their survival and for the availability of water, one has been mentioned in your textbook, and if you just it happens to travel in northern state, you will come to know they have local irrigation system developed by the villagers living there. Because in Himalaya, in Himalayan region, if you go, it is a sparsely populated areas. One village may be of 200 to 300 houses only. So they have developed the local irrigation system called Kuls. What actually they do in this irrigation system? They are not constructing huge dams, but rainfall is not such a great problem there. But whenever rainfall occurs, they have constructed. I have seen that the canals themselves and this canal are diverted to each and every farm, and maintenance of this canal remain responsibility of some managerial skill persons. Understand? So that's an age-old method working there, and government also hasn't disturbed it. Understand? But dear student, construction of huge dam, if you heard, a very huge dam constructed opposed by the people living in that area. That is a very famous Tehri Dam on Ganga River. Understand, that was opposed by the local people living in that area, no doubt by the government understanding it has been already constructed and in work. Similarly, dear student, Narmada Dam is also opposed by the local tribals living there. Constructing huge dam demands lots of things. First, a huge catchment construction area, not anywhere but in proper localities. First, huge costing for constructing a dam, cement, concrete, steel, whatever, manpower, huge amount to be spared by the government for constructing a dam, and after constructing the dam for maintenance. Not only that, once you construct dam, you have to, as in my lecture in chapter number 9 I explained, you have to dislocate the people living in that area to make the land available for constructing a dam. Because you need to select such a location for constructing a dam in the way of the river through mountainous terrains. So the proper availability of the land demands dislocation of the original tribes living there, where government has to coordinate with the people, has to discuss with the people regarding their compensation and rehabilitation facilities. When we when the construction of Narmada Dam started, a youth strikes and very famous, understand, Narmada Bandh Andolan started by Baba Amte and Megha Patekar, his companion. They were actually opposing the government along with the tribals living in Panchmahal, Godhra district for one purpose only. They do not wanted to dislocate themselves from that particular area, and they wanted to be ensured regarding the compensation and rehabilitation facility the government is going to offer. No doubt, after a long conversation, the problem was settled and the construction of Narmada Dam started, and the height was also uplifted. Understand? But, dear student, constructing a huge dam are also one of the factor. Even lots of care has been taken to make the dam, but storing such a tremendous amount of water in one area, understand, going to create pressure on the earth, which may also one of the reason for landsliding sometime. Dislocation of people no doubt create an environment of, understand, uh, uh, not particular, it will create some social dislocation between the people, understand. At the same time, lots of ecological wildlife species who are actually surviving in that area, that is also a great loss of ecology and biodiversity when we construct huge dams. At the same time, it has advantage also, because whenever the river floods, the extra river water going just in wastage in sea, understand, gets stored, understand, in dam and becomes available in the water scarcity rainfall. When we don't receive proper rainfall, this stored water can be a great precious help. Not only that, it is very helpful for irrigation, for drinking water supply. All purposes are solved. Even hydroelectric power can be produced. So, dear student, like as you know, every coin has two sides, some advantage, some disadvantage. But the topic is this, that just constructing the huge dam and just ignoring the feeling of the people and just ignoring those age old methods adopted by our ancestors, understand, for the storing work of the water, need not to be neglected. It need to be taken seriously, understand. And nowadays, dear students, sometime you are hearing some important words like recharging the wells. You heard this word, recharging well. That is one noble concept of water harvesting and management. Recharging well means what, dear student? Actually, recharging well means to increase the depth of the well so that the groundwater during the rainy season becomes available to us. Understand? Not only recharging well, this is also an age old practice for harnessing the rain water. But one thing, check dam. This word, understand, the check dam means storing the water locally rather than creating the huge dam, was actually an concept traditionally adopted by people, understand. But the government has also now become serious of constructing, rather than big dam, small check dam, small catchment area where rain water can be stored. And those check dams are actually sufficient for supplying water to nearby villages. Understand? So, check dams are actually, my dear student, one of the method of harnessing the rain water. At the same time, lots of system has been adopted, understand, in ancient time, in recent time also, for particular water harvesting. One particular, so many name has been mentioned in the textbook. Some of the system adopted in Karnataka, understand, in Rajasthan, in Gujarat. Understand some of the one very important watershed water harvesting system that has been adopted. Understand that is called the Khadin system. Khadins and Nadis in Rajasthan, in a region like Rajasthan, which are very scarce in water, in rainfall. Even they receive rainfall quite less than 25 centimeter in some occasional seasons. So they need to develop a particular rain harvesting system. That Khadin, the traditional system of rain harvesting, understand, has also been shown in the textbook where they have shown in Khadin system. See, dear student, I just want to mention, understand, suppose in Khadin system they have shown catchment area, they have shown catchment area in the Khadin system, which are actually in Rajasthan. Khadin system means, dear student, catchment area means areas at some altitude where the rainfall occurs, where rainwater will draw out. Sometime you are hearing in the news that rainfall occurred in Amreli and some area, so that rainwater from that catchment is going to be drained in Setrunji Dam, as you all heard. Understand? And then a little, this is a cropped area or Khadin area actually. They have shown this way. Then, dear student, here to store the water and to just obstruct the water here, they construct such structure, okay, and then they construct a well here. Just I want to give you an idea regarding this, okay. Just try to understand it. See, this is, dear student, a catchment area, okay. From this catchment area, rainfall, whenever good rainfall occurs, this water will flow down from the catchment area, and as it is obstructed by constructing such dam like structure, understand, this water will collect in this seepage area. See, I am just showing this is actually a cropped area where the water is going to collect. Understand? Now, dear student, whenever it overflows, this saline water will travel here and collect here. Now, actually, this catchment area, this is Khadin or cropped area, and this is actually Khadins, okay, and these are wells. Now, what happens, dear student? They have shown this pseudo dug well that you can understand, okay. This can be called cropped or Khadin area, and this is Khadin Band, as you all know. I told you to obstruct the water. Now, when the water is flowing in catchment area and collect, actually this water not only when it is flowing, but when it is stored here, is going to percolate in the land. And this rainwater, when gets stored and percolate, understand, inside, it will ensures more availability of groundwater. Understand, and the rest of the overflow saline water will collect here. Now this can be called a seepage area. Seepage area means what? Water drop by drop is going to enrich the groundwater. These wells, these are actually the shadow well just to collect the saline water, but the rest of the water will percolate drop by drop seepage in the groundwater and ensures that it will enrich the supply of the groundwater. You understood this? So actually, what is going? This is occasional only. These are this will just ensure the storage of the rainwater, which also happens in check dam, dear student. Check dam are not such huge constructions, as you all know. They are smaller construction like this Khadin Band, just to store the extra rainwater available. Understand? And actually, you know, this check dam, those huge dams are mostly, they are storing such a huge amount of water, they remain half filled at least, understand, till the next rain season. But these check dams, understand, where the water not only made available for the supply for the agriculture crop production but seepage, it will enrich the groundwater. And enrichment of the groundwater is very very important, because maximum groundwater get recharge will recharge your lake and your tube wells. The collection of groundwater, understand, right, that will also ensure less environmental problem, okay, and it makes the water available in most during the year for some period of time at least, and then it dries out. You have also seen some check dam in Bhavnagar also. If you go across Nagdhaniba, what is that? That is check dam only. So actually, it does not remain permanent filled with the water, but occasionally in rainfall season and during some good rainy season, it get filled and make the water available for the local supply. Okay, dear student. So it is very very important for us to store groundwater when the rain is available. Recharge the groundwater, because rather than storing the water, understand, on the surface of earth, which may cause some ecological problem, rather just enriching the groundwater. Okay, so some Khadin and Nadi system in Rajasthan also we have seen. This can be called, either you utilize the word water harvesting, or you utilize the word watershed management. Even, dear student, in if you travel across the region receiving, understand, less rainfall, they are also constructing the sheds and roof in such a way that the rainwater drains out slowly and percolates maximum in the ground, understand, which ensures maximum availability of the groundwater, understand. And here This is a local system. Government are today, as I told you, engaged not only in constructing the huge dams only, which also have the side effects, but government are also promoting the local people, I may call local warriors, to participate in recharging. Understand, if you are regularly hearing the news, then you will come to know, understand that many non-governmental organization NGOs are engaged in recharging wells as well as making the check dams. Why? Because these NGOs are working for the betterment of the people living in that particular area, so that they actually, we need to value the water. And this NGO, by the promotion by our government also, they are working, understand, for recharging the wells and recharging the groundwater. Understood? So, dear student, we have to understand importance, and by different name in various areas. They mention in textbook already the name. Understand? See some of the name, and that is just a topic of information only. Khadinsto we discussed, then the bandharas and tals in Maharashtra, totally different technique of water harvesting. Bandhis in Madhya Pradesh and UP, ahars and Painas in Bihar, and Kuls in Himachal Pradesh. Understand? Ponds in Khandi belt of Jammu region, Eris tanks in Tamil Nadu, and Sarangams in Kerala, and Katas in Karnataka are some of the ancient water harvesting system they are adopting. Understand? You just have to maybe remembering few names for the purpose of exam. Rather, I don't just the Khadin system. They have just given a diagrammatic, schematic explanation of that, so that you can read it out and prepare. Rest the name you just have to remember only. And one more thing, dear student, the last topic of coal and petroleum. I am just giving that topic for self study, because regarding coal and petroleum and how to conserve them, you all know very well and you have studied so far. Understand? So, that topic of coal and petroleum, understand, remains with a self study for you, because you all know, understand, that we are very serious regarding coal and petroleum, regarding the air pollution caused by their utilization. Understand, regarding the emission of pollutants by utilization of both these resources, as you all know very well. That's why the government has become very strict regarding the PUC certificate, not only for two-wheeler, four-wheeler at the same time, for industries or establishment of any factories also. The government has made the PUC compulsory. It has been a part of traveling today. Understand that your vehicle, understand, is not causing pollution more than some optimum level designed by the government. Understood? And you have heard that in Delhi the government has taken a serious step to in Bhavnagar we are not facing such huge problem, but in Delhi they are allowing the vehicle, understand, in odd and even numbers, if you remember. Why? Because maximum use of petroleum also understand, is causing serious problem for the environment. Even if you have traveled to Delhi and Agra and Taj Mahal, you know, dear student, that your vehicle is allowed only up to some region. From there, you are taken to the Taj Mahal via CNG or electric bus. Understand, I have gone at that time, I have seen that to not to create the pollution in that surrounding area. Understand? So, regarding the coal and petroleum, you all know very well discussing about that, understand, you that is just the enhancing the factual matter, you know. So that topic you should read by yourself about water harvesting and shed management, that you have to prepare as it has been given in your textbook. Okay, dear students, so as I told you, this particular chapter does not carry much weightage also, understand, in board exam, but you need to prepare it. The topics are not so difficult, easy topics, looking like those general knowledge topic which you have read a lot about, understand, in books also, and you can also search on net also. You understood? Okay, dear students, so today, after completing this lecture number 2, understand, your chapter number 16 is getting completed, and with this, your portion of science is over. Now, dear student, after this, I am going to take some revisional lectures for numericals of chapter number 12. Okay, we have taken a revision of numericals of chapter number 10 already. Now our target is to take some revisional lectures for numericals of chapter number 12. Okay, dear student, thank you very much.